Hey, everybody, it's Kristin and Charlie here with another Kristin and Charlie chat. Today, we are recapping our parenting masterclass from yesterday in Thriving Blind Academy. And if ever there was a day that we had to practice, I don't even know if it's constant. Never. I think there's about 75 success principles happening right now. So I don't take this laptop and throw it out the window. And Charlie had a sound system issue. Oh, it's been a very incredible time here in our green room of production at Thriving Blind Academy. But we're still smiling and we're still delivering all the info that we know you all need to continue thriving. And actually, Charlie, I'm so happy that we decided to keep going with this today because talking about the super amazing masterclass yesterday will keep my mind off of how much I want to just strangle whatever bot is interfering with our email system. And I'll take a deep breath. So there you go. No, okay, let's get serious. Well, the class was too fun. We can't really be super serious. What an incredible jam-packed 90 minutes we had yesterday. Am I right or am I right?
You are right. And I'm just laughing because I feel you. When we have audio and internet and computer and Zoom and all this technology that works an hour ago and then decides to start acting up, it's like I am doing nothing different. And it really parlays very well with yesterday because what the whole theme was letting go, but the theme of can I think and do for my children greater than I feel? And it's like right now, you and I, shortly before, I don't feel like going live. I don't feel like recording today because something could go wrong. And now I'm a bit agitated because technology isn't doing what I want. And it's like, but you and I, we can. And we laugh about it, but we think greater than we feel. Both of us were feeling like, let's just go to lunch. It'll somehow get better. But no, we face this stuff. And as we talked about yesterday, as a parent, we all feel for our children quite a bit. And we feel that we want them to be successful, have lots of friends, and interact with the other kids and do well in school. I mean, we want it all to be just right, like the internet. I shouldn't say the internet, our connection to the internet.
Yeah.
Forget the internet. But we, because of that feeling that we want, we overstep our bounds and we guide them. We no longer are guiding them. We're turning into trying to be their hero and direct their life a little bit. And it's out of a good place. But as we talked about yesterday and we peel it back, we realize I'm doing it because I want to feel good about their success.
Yeah. I really think that some of the parents, because we kept saying, we know that some of this is tough love, and we know that some of it is hard to hear, that it is not the system's fault. It is not the school district's fault. It is about how we teach our kids to navigate it. I'm sure some of them had some voodoo stuff going on saying, you know what? I don't want to hear this. This is too much to making me take responsibility. And then whammo, there I just was going, it's the internet's fault. And you're telling me try a speed test. I'm like, I don't want to do a speed test. I don't want to solve the problem the way that you're telling me to solve the issue. I want to do it the way that the old story. And I got to tell you, Charlie, the old me of just a few months ago would have done the blaming, complaining, and this is not my day. And I've got a jam-packed schedule and I probably won't have time to watch my Phillies tonight because I've got all these things lined up. And I actually started doing that this morning because my kids are sending a ton of texts about the game, and all this different stuff. And I haven't even had a chance. I mean, I have my Phillies hat on. That's about all the hoopla I've been able to do because we've been so busy here launching so many things. But I got to tell you, when I looked at it as, okay, my day is jam-packed with meetings, and every single one of them is somebody that wants to come in and grow this mission, right? So like all afternoon, I get to have the pain of discipline, which I know every single meeting is going to be absolutely phenomenal, and not the pain of regret of, if I would have canceled the meetings, to go watch the Phils. I love my Phils, but there's way more work to be done. And quite frankly, they play again tomorrow night. So, hey, I'll catch tomorrow night's game. But I just was feeling like I can imagine how so many of the parents were dropping in a bunch of stuff. That chat was like on fire yesterday. And they were very vulnerable with, I am so nervous about pre-K. How is my daughter going to handle pre-K when I don't really feel like I know what I'm doing? And then to watch other people dropping in stuff to have those folks keep going and keep listening and telling them all the things that they were doing right. And then I found it extremely interesting when I think it was Suzette from our little staff here who said, you're not going to think of everything. It's never going to be perfect. You just take the next right step, you do the next right thing and do exactly what that mom did. Ask the question, is there anything else I should be thinking about?
Yeah, that's good. And you got me thinking back to thinking greater than we feel. This is the journey of raising children, visually impaired, blind, low vision, legal blind, whatever that condition or effect of the condition type thing, and whatever the name of the eye disease is, and you're right. I mean, in that moment, that that parent was getting filled with some hope, because we were talking about what's possible when you let go, allow your child to go to school, find his cubby, put his stuff in as a blind child, get to the chair, sit down on time. I mean, and it's possible. You have a track record with your kids. I have a track record personally in my life, living life fully with legal blindness. But I don't know all the answers. I've got to build, as we talked about, that fourth level of learning, that unconscious competence, where my esteem and my self-confidence are raised because I continue to step into what could be possible. I don't know for sure. I don't know all the answers, but I believe in myself, and I believe as I move forward that it is possible. Whether you have sight or not, that is a human condition. And I think that the more we are working out, we had some people in our webinar and our masterclass that were on the other side, who were unconsciously competent in themselves. They approach things, they try new ventures, they try out new relationships and business agreements. And I mean, think of Suzette alone. I mean, just think how much she's grown in such a short amount of time. She's doing presentations. She's making an impact in her community. She's taking college courses, and her eyesight has gotten a lot worse. I mean, that is thinking greater than you feel, because most people, when their eyesight declines, they give up because they're not in our community.
Well, and Suzette has an additional piece to the puzzle where she has a child that has the same visual diagnosis and is going through one of those seasons of struggle of not happy about having to navigate the world with declining vision. So you're right, she has so much going on, and yet she's coming in here. It's like I say every Monday in those mentor calls. I mean, my kids are out of the house. They are beating all the statistics. We are on the other side, and I get to just talk about the strategies that worked. Yet every Monday, I am a sponge listening to everybody else's strategies and helping me through all the other stuff I got going on.
And one thing I've known since I've known you and your family and the boys, and nobody showed up at your door. Nobody handed you the secret easy button that Staples likes to hand out. Nobody handed you a book that said, if you read this, your kids, your blind boys, and your daughter will be successful no matter what. No, it's through constant repetition. It's through constant talking it through. It's through constantly thinking greater than you feel. And then there's days that I'm not going to be able to get out of that. I'm going to think how I feel, and I'm going to pay the price. But then the next day I'll get back into the game. And I've watched that. And you and I both personally professionally and with our families have hit walls, have hit, I don't want this. I'm not ready to let go. I don't want to surrender to the madness. This isn't fair. Why do I have to have an eye disease? That's a language that used to roll off of me. But because of these communities, this what we do, the work we work with, success principles, and we talk this stuff out, and we then have tactics and strategies to implement. It isn't just hearing the right thing, right? If that would be great, if I could read a book and hear all these platitudes and great little statements and now I'm good. No, it's actually stepping in and practicing.
Yeah. One of the other things we talked about yesterday to set the stage, after you had talked about those 4 levels, about how I went about this in an extraordinary way. People always say, oh, your journey's so extraordinary. Yeah, it is. But extraordinary being outside the ordinary. And it was magnificent, because here I was rattling off. I don't do just one IEP meeting. We had at least 13 meetings throughout the year for each of my sons. Yeah, I was that mom. But then when I was telling the folks, educating them about that it's not just one. And when the school said to me, that's not how we do this, I said, well, we do things in an extraordinary way. We are not normal. We don't do the ordinary. We do things out of what is ordinarily expected. And I'll tell you, the conversation after the Q&A, when folks from Texas were saying that would never happen in Texas. We would never have that. They only do one, and you're not allowed to run that meeting. There's a designated person that's hired. And I said, think about it. Extraordinary, outside the ordinary. Then you have one-off meetings on the side, and you still have all those meetings, but okay, you have to follow the one rule of the one big meeting, and somebody runs that. Great. You do all the things we talked about in a different, as an aside, not necessarily with the IEP team structure that the school has. There's always a way. I don't want to be cliche, but seriously, where there's a will, there's a way. And it starts with that whole mindset of, we're going to do things a little outside the ordinary because we need outside the ordinary results. I was not going for that 70% unemployment, 70% dropout. We needed to do something outside the ordinary. What is the expression, Charlie, about if you keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, like you're nuts or something like that? I'm sure it's more eloquent than that. Insane.
Doing the same things over and over and expecting different results.
Yeah.
I was doing the same thing over and over with my microphone, and you kept saying it's kind of quiet, and I was getting mad at you. I'm going, she's so dumb. She doesn't get it. Turn your speaker up. It's not me. I'm perfect. And then I realized it was. And I kept doing it, going, nope. And then you wouldn't answer me quick enough. Now she probably can't hear me, and I'm talking. And it's amazing how easy it is to get off course. Then I can shut down the computer and go eat ice cream. I'll fix it. But let me just say, Kristin, that was that you were talking about the IEP, one of your favorite things. But you were saying there's always a way. Yeah, this board, this system does it this way, and you must conform. And you're saying, well, who's in that room? Connect with them individually, because where there's a will, but where there's a collective will, when you share the hopes and dreams and how your kid, your student, the student says, well, this is how it's going to work best for me. This is how it did, that gets people excited, and they want to come together as a team and support you instead of just following the black and white rules.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And that's exactly what we talked about yesterday, because I was blessed enough to have 2. I wasn't just a one-hit wonder. And then when it came time for Mitch's meetings, and I asked a lot of that team, and they lined up and jumped in and were there early because they saw the results with Michael. They saw the results of how I wanted that to go. And they were right there to make sure that Mitch had a similar support system. I can't say similar experience, because there is no experience that my boys has. It's similar. They are so different. But that was the other point of what we talked about yesterday. it's not just that this worked because my boys are the exact same and they're rule followers and check the boxes and firstborn and all that. They're very different. And we were able to make it work for two extremely different personalities, extremely different humans. And it did. So it was good stuff. It was great to be able to start talking about all these, looking back on the journey for so long. I think now, because the boys are out and doing their thing and I'm watching them really soar, I've switched from thinking about all the things I got wrong to now looking at all the things that we got right and being able to share them. Because, of course, we're parents. Every day there's like 97 things we get wrong. However, there's a few things we get right. And now we get to talk about it.
Yep. Well, this has been fun. And stay tuned for, if you're not signed up, go to Thriving Blind Academy. I'm sorry. I almost said Thriving Blind America. I remember I used to say that for a while. thrivingblindacademy.org, and put your name and email in, and you'll know when we have master classes, free webinars, where we have a free portion of our website. And I don't mean it like that. The website's free, but we have a paid membership. It's a whole $97 for a year. We think we have about 1,000 hours of content. Now, we don't expect you to consume that because there's all different styles of content to help you along your journey. But we'd love to announce and get you in our system so you can make a decision to come in and, be a part of what we're doing.
Love to see you there. All right. Thanks, everyone.